Yes, people, in this video, we're going to quickly go over some of the transfer rumors surrounding FC Barcelona. We're going to talk about rumors of potential signings the club wants to make, start talking about the renewal situations of certain players and a certain manager, and we're going to start thinking about certain players that we might want to let go for the upcoming season or potentially stay. All I can really say is that this summer we're going to see a lot of rumors surrounding Barcelona because we all know that we have to get rid of players and sign new players. So rumors are going to come out daily. Some can be trustworthy, a lot others cannot be trustworthy at all. So honestly, just be prepared and lock in. Let's start off with the renewal situations for Hansi Flick. Hansi Flick has confirmed that he will be staying at Barcelona until 2027. I think I can speak for the whole fan base that we are 100% happy with this because Hansi Flick, what he's done in this one season has been nothing but spectacular. He has come into this Barcelona side and transformed it from a mediocre side into one of the best sides in Europe in just one season and with only one signing. Like, wow. He's worked with what he had in the beginning of the season and has done great things, winning us the domestic treble, getting us to a semifinals of a Champions League, beating Real Madrid 4 times, which is incredible. Honestly, Hansi Flick has done wonders this season and 100% deserves to stay at Barcelona. We can definitely trust this guy. Hopefully this summer we can back him up to the level that he wants to be backed up because he's already said that he wants to make signings. You know, he's starting to think about the certain players that he wants to bring in. So hopefully the club is able to back him up this summer because we're going to need it if we want to compete and do the same things that we did this season for the following season, especially start thinking about winning the Champions League. But the main thing is that Hansi Flick is going to say, and 100% happy about that. Now, the renewal situations for 2 key players for Barcelona, which are RAPHINHA and Lamine Yamal. For RAPHINHA, it's already been confirmed that he will resign until 2028, which is great news. Honestly, what RAPHINHA did this 24-25 season has been so impressive. He has stepped up massively. You know, at one point we were thinking this guy had to go, but Hansi Flick is like, no, I trust you. I'm going to give you the reins this season as to be a key figure for Barcelona, and he did it, bro. Like, RAPHINHA has improved so much from what we saw in prior years, and you know, being a key figure, an important player for us, stepping up in massive moments. All I can say is RAPHINHA has definitely gained the trust of the Barcelona fans and Hansi Flick, the board. That's why he got the renewal, right? So not only has he improved as a player, but also as a leader for the club and for the team, you know, for the players. I'm sure that everyone loves RAPHINHA, so I'm definitely happy with him staying a couple years. I think for sure we're going to need to sign some players to give him more competition because where he's playing is not his natural position, but even so, he has done wonders there. So I'm happy with this renewal situation for sure. Now, talking about the renewal situation of Lamine Yamal. Laporta the other day came out talking about, you know, basically the situation of the club, the renewal situations, and potential signings. And he also mentioned Lamine Yamal's situation where he basically said that they have come to an agreement. They're getting close to an agreement of his renewal situation. They're waiting for him to turn 18 years old so he can sign that contract and it can be 100% confirmed. Obviously, he said that Lamine Yamal is one of the best players in the world, so they have to give him a contract that levels that, you know, that's equal to what Lamine Yamal offers and what the player that he could potentially be. Obviously, in my opinion, I don't think we should give him too much, you know, give him in, you know, let's say the highest paid player in the team just, you know, as of yet, because as much as Lamine Yamal is an amazing player and definitely our most important player, you know, he's still very young. We don't want to make the same mistakes that we made at Ansu Fati. I'm not saying we're going to have a similar situation with Ansu Fati with Lamine Yamal in terms of how his career can completely change. I just think we should take it slowly because, you know, he still has a lot of time, a lot of years to improve and to mature. So we want to take it slowly with him and give him what he deserves for sure. But let's just not go over the top with it, right? But overall, I'm just happy to see that Lamine Yamal will be staying. I don't think there's ever been a question about that. Lamine Yamal is a La Masia kid. He loves Barcelona. We love him. So him staying for the next, let's say, decade or so is 100% going to be guaranteed. Another player that Laporta talked about was Frenkie de Jong. Laporta has expressed how much he loves Frenkie de Jong for so long now. Like, it's been years how much he's talked about Frenkie de Jong, saying that how much he's a great player, you know, an amazing talent, and that he definitely wants him to stay. And he expressed the same things as of recent as well, that he wants Frenkie de Jong to stay. Frenkie de Jong has 1 year left in his contract, and he wants to get the renewal, you know, that renewal situation, you know, solved as soon as possible, which I have no problem with. You know, at the past, there's definitely been talks from Barcelona fans saying that Frenkie de Jong might be a player that we might have to get rid of in the near future just because of the financial situation with Barcelona. Honestly, at this point, I don't know what it is. I don't know if we can spend money. I don't know what our situation is. I've not seen much news come out of how much Barcelona can actually spend this upcoming summer. Laporta comes out and saying that we're good, that we can definitely make signings, as much as we do have to get rid of some players. But he sounds pretty confident. And we're going to renew a player with Frenkie de Jong, knowing that if we did have to make a big sale, we can get the most money out of Frank de Jong. He's the best player that we got to put on the market and get a lot of money for. So if he's talking about renewing him, then I guess we're in a good situation that we don't have to make a big sale. Who knows? We'll see how the transfer window goes for the summer. But there's also been a rumor of Frankie de Jong coming out and saying that if he has to drop his wages, he's willing to do that. Which I don't know if it's true or not. That's what I've been seeing. But if it is true, even better. But Frankie de Jong, we all know the talent that he is. He's stepped up massively as well this season. He's been a great player for us. We're literally solidified it for me that this guy has to stay is in the recent Clásico in the 4-3 win, where he just showed the passion of a true leader for FC Barcelona. Like, what he did in that game was amazing. So, yeah, Frankie de Jong situation is looking like he'll stay in Barcelona, which I'm happy for. Another player that we're talking about to stay for the following season is Hector Ford. Hector Ford, this season, I don't think he's played as much as he probably should have because, probably Hansi Flick didn't trust him. And also just because Jules Koundé has been fit practically the whole season. Like, he's the guy that's played the most minutes for Barcelona. So, the need of bringing Hector Ford probably wasn't, so urgent. But it's shown that practically towards the end of the season, Hansi Flick started getting more trust for Hector Ford, and he's impressed a little bit. He's not done bad. I think defensively definitely needs to improve. Going forward, he's great, but he's still very young. He still has time to improve his characteristics, improve his certain aspects to his game. But I'm honestly happy that he stays. It's been coming out that he will potentially stay for the following season. In my opinion, I'm happy with that because I see the baller that Hector Ford is, and I'm pretty sure under Hansi Flick he can improve, certain qualities. So him staying is great news for me. Now let's start talking about some transfer rumors. One of the transfer rumors that have been coming out as of recent is the goalkeeper situation with Ter Stegen, Szczesny, Iñaki Peña. So what I've been seeing is that we're going to potentially look into the market for another goalkeeper, but that depends on if Szczesny stays for the following season. There's been a verbal agreement between the club and Szczesny's camp that he'll stay for one more season, but it hasn't been 100% confirmed. Nothing's been signed yet, but there's been a verbal agreement. We still don't know if it's going to happen. Who knows? Let's see if the club go through it or if Szczesny wants to go through it. But if he doesn't stay, then Barcelona are going into the market to look for another goalkeeper. And one of the main guys that they've been looking on is Joan Garcia from Espanyol, the 24-year-old who's had a great season with Espanyol this season. So, that's a great prospect to have, as a backup and potentially as a starter because Ter Stegen has come back from injury. Ter Stegen has been someone that I've been saying that had to go for a while now. I don't think we should really trust Ter Stegen for the near future. I don't think he's at the level anymore. I don't think he's at the highest level to really get this Barcelona side to win, major trophies. I mean, I personally have nothing against the guy, but in the footballing level, I just don't want to see him be a goalkeeper for Barcelona anymore. If Joan Garcia can step up, if we can sign him, which is looking like a 15 million value for him, which is definitely doable for Barcelona. If we can sign him and he can definitely show level for playing to be a starter for Barcelona, that'd be great, but, we'll see what happens. We'll see if Hansi Flick decides to trust Ter Stegen, or in general, how the situation will be, because one thing for sure is Iñaki Peña is not staying next season. I can guarantee you he's not staying next season. I mean, there's no rumors been coming out that he's 100% leaving yet, but there's just no way that he stays, guys. Come on, at this point, he should have noticed that he has no chance of ever being a starter for Barcelona as the main goalkeeper. He's been here for years now, and at best, he's always been a substitute. Like this season, in the 24-25 season, he's been a substitute for Ter Stegen after he got injured. But the only reason he was playing is because Szczesny, when he joined, wasn't 100% fit. It was clear that Hansi Flick was waiting for that, and then boom, immediately replaced Iñaki Peña. So at this point, Iñaki Peña has to leave. For himself, he just has to leave, unless he wants to be the fourth goalkeeper, which at this point we don't really need. So if Iñaki Peña is leaving and Szczesny leaving, then Joan Garcia is a major probability that he will join Barcelona. We'll see how it goes. But the main transfer rumor that has been coming out as of recent, the main one that has definitely got a lot of Barcelona fans confused, is the potential signing of the 28-year-old Liverpool player, Luis Diaz. There's no question that we definitely need a left winger. Again, RAPHINHA has been our left winger, quote-unquote left winger. I think Balde's been more of our left winger than RAPHINHA because, we're talking about someone who's actually touching the left wing side, playing as that one take-on guy, playing on the left. It's been more Balde than RAPHINHA. RAPHINHA's been more of an inside forward. But we definitely need a left winger to give competition for RAPHINHA and, maybe even be a starter over RAPHINHA. Maybe put RAPHINHA towards the middle more, who knows. But we need a proper left winger. We can't be playing RAPHINHA out of position there. Even though he does step up, we still need more competition on that side and another impact player who can come on off the bench or, as a starter and help us win games, when we need it. And I'm not going to deny that Luis Diaz is a great player. I'm not going to deny that. Luis Diaz has shown that he has definitely a great winger, a proper winger that I love, definitely. These are the type of wingers that I love, that can take on the defender, can easily beat them with skill, with pace, whatever it may be, can create chances and score goals. Like, one thing he's definitely improved on in recent years is his goal scoring ability. He's definitely improved it. For Liverpool in the beginning of the season, he was scoring, week in, week out. Towards the second half, he's definitely slowed down a bit. But besides that, he's definitely been a major part for Liverpool to win the league title that they just won. So I'm not doubting Luis Diaz's ability. What I'm having doubts about is two things: his age and the potential rumors about how much Liverpool will be asking for, which they're saying is around 80 million. But they're also saying that that's the value, that's his transfer market value. Who knows if Liverpool will ask for that? I think they will. I think Liverpool know how much of a great player Luis Diaz is. And when we look at Liverpool's situation on the left-hand side, who do they really have? Gakpo and Chiesa. I don't know. Like, I'm in my opinion, I think Arne Slot would probably, likes Lucho better than those other two. Or, Gakpo has definitely stepped up for Liverpool as well. But I think he still would prefer to keep Luis Diaz over Chiesa, because Chiesa has come in basically with injuries. He's a pretty injury prone player as well. He hasn't had a full season, and he has moments as well. But I think Luis Diaz, for sure, he'll consider a better player. So who knows? Like, I think Liverpool will definitely ask for a lot of money for him. I think minimum 70 million they'll ask for him, because they know the player that he is, the caliber of player that he is, and they know Barcelona, one of the teams that will be dumb enough to spend that kind of money. Like, honestly, like, the rumors coming out of that price tag is ridiculous to me for a 28-year-old going on to 29 in December. I just don't, or in January, I think. I just don't see why we would want to do that. I think we should invest in a younger player, like Nico Williams. John Laporta basically came out saying that Barcelona had interest in him, but now they're looking at other avenues of other players, which is basically kind of confirming that we're not going for Nico Williams this summer. I'm in the boat as well that the train passed. Like, Nico, you had your chance to join us, but you didn't want to. You wanted to stay at Athletic Club. Fair, cool. If you want to do your own thing, that's cool. But the train passed. If we go up and sign them, I wouldn't mind it. But at this point, like, you rejected Barcelona. Even I think Barcelona still would have the potential of signing someone like Nico last season. But obviously, the main doubt is the registration. Barcelona can actually register Luis Diaz or Nico Williams if we were to sign them, because there's also been rumors that Luis Diaz wants, assurance that if he joins, that he can, get registered for with no problem, like the problem we had with Dani Olmo during the season and with Pau Victor. He wants assurance that that won't happen with him. Do I think that will happen? I don't know, because again, when it comes to our financial situation, I don't really know what the situation is right now. There's been rumors coming out all season long, and it's gonna come down to how this transfer window goes. 70 million. I wouldn't spend over 60 million on Luis Diaz. I just wouldn't, because if we're signing a player like Luis Diaz, it's basically meaning we're focusing on right now rather than the future. When it comes to wingers, how many wingers really last into their late 20s, into their early 30s? Like, it's difficult, because they start aging, they start losing some abilities they used to have when they were younger. Like, it's not the ideal situation. Luis Diaz definitely shown that he can play through the middle, playing that false nine role, playing that striker role for sure. But we don't really need that when we have the likes of RAPHINHA, when we have the likes of Dani Olmo, we have the likes of Ferran Torres, and potentially going out to buy a striker in the future. We don't really need a Luis Diaz to be doing that for us. We need a proper winger who can last us for years. And I just don't think Luis Diaz will last more than maybe 2 seasons at Barcelona. And for that price tag, it's not worth it. It's not worth spending more than 70 million on a player that's only going to last us for maximum 2 years. I don't think he'll last more than 4 years. I don't think he'll be like a Mohamed Salah who can change his game drastically and, put up the numbers that someone like Salah could put, even though he's not the same kind of winger that he was in prior years. I don't think that's going to happen. I definitely think that Hansi Flick can get a lot out of Luis Diaz, because Luis Diaz is a great winger, but I don't think it's going to be something that can last very long. Like, I don't see how this can be beneficial at all for Barcelona for the near future, because we're considering we're a very young squad as well. We're definitely going to need a player with experience, but we have to focus more on the future rather than just right now. Because if we focus just right now, then that can bite us in the ass later in the future. So, I don't know. In my opinion, if we can get him for less than 50, I wouldn't mind it. If we spend more than 60, I'm gonna have a problem there. My main prospects for a left winger has always been Rafael Leao. I think Rafael Leao is a baller. I think he's an amazing player, but I don't know what kind of price tag the AC Milan are going to put on him. I think it's probably going to be 100 million plus, which we clearly don't have the money for, considering we also had to make other signings for other positions. But I don't know, because it's a lot of sources have confirmed that Barcelona are very interested in Luis Diaz, so it might happen. Hansi Flick is the rumor that basically confirmed it is that Hansi Flick has come out, putting the green light to go for Luis Diaz. Deco has expressed how much he likes Luis Diaz, basically since he's joined Barcelona. Laporta likes more Rafael Leao, but ultimately it's going to come down to who Hansi Flick wants. Considering Hansi Flick only re-signed for 2 years, we can not only think what's going to happen between those 2 years, we got to also think about life after Hansi Flick. What other managers we're going to think of for the future, and who can be a player that can last for a very long time, not just for 2 to 3 years, because I just don't think Luis Diaz will last more than 2 to 3 years. I just don't think it's going to happen. But, hopefully we just don't make the same mistakes of the past and spend a tremendous amount of money on a player that's probably just not necessary right now. Again, a left winger is necessary, but let's just not buy the worst, not worst, but let's just not buy someone that's not worth it right now. Like Luis Diaz, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So yeah, those are the rumors that have been coming out as of recent, what I've seen as of recent. Again, all summer long, we're going to see a lot of rumors coming out surrounding Barcelona, because we already know that we have to make signings. We have to get rid of players. It has to be done. So rumors are always going to come out, and I would try my best to just gather all the rumors that have been coming out and, put it in a video for you guys. Just a little recap for you guys to know, just in case you're not aware of what's been happening, or, potential, actual confirmed things that will be coming out in the near future. So I will try to keep you guys updated as best as I can. But make sure in the comments to let me know what you guys thought about the video, what you guys think about recent rumors that have been coming out, especially the Luis Diaz situation. How are you feeling about that? Do you think he's the right choice for Barcelona, or are we making the same mistakes of the past? Let me know what you think about the renewal situation of Hansi Flick, RAPHINHA, Lamine Yamal. All those, let me know down in the comments below. Make sure to like, subscribe, favorite, hit the notification bell for every time we upload. This summer is going to be long, and I can't wait for you to update you guys on everything that's going to be coming out. Again, much love. I'll see you guys for the next video. Take care and peace.